What is up, guys? Sinestro here, bringing you guys a very special, different kind of video. And as you guys know, I'm kind of a nice guy. So, I got a question from one of my subscribers, the fellow Sinestrian Grizzly. If you guys haven't checked him out yet, he's also a YouTuber. And he asked me to show him how to remove backgrounds from, let's say, something like a screenshot. So, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys um, how I do the removal of backgrounds in pictures, so that you can make, a backgroundless item that you want to use for a thumbnail or for something else. I don't know. So what I'm going to be showing you guys is how to go from this to just singling out a single item in that image, right? And he asked me to do the VMP, so I'll be doing the VMP. And then I'm not sure yet how I'm gonna feel at the end of this video, but I was thinking about doing a speed art at the end of it for this HBK that I'm gonna bring you guys a video for. Um, but first of all, guys, if you guys are trying to do a gun, it is best if you can't get a good shot at the creator class, you can go into the camo section of it, and you have a bigger screen and you get a better picture, which is why I did the HBK like that. But it'll work with any screenshot. So I went from this to this. I'm going to do the same thing here for the VMP. He asked me to do this one, and this is how I do it. He has a different Photoshop than me, but that doesn't matter. Some of the tools here are like staple tools throughout the Photoshop thing, and this is how I like to do it. If you guys are like, man, Sinestro is crazy how he does it, but this is how I learn. I'm self-taught, and the first thing I always do, I double click here on the layer and I just hit OK, and that kind of unlocks it so that I can do anything I want with it. Then you can do this two ways. You can use the select tool, or you can use the eraser tool. I like to use just the select tool here. I'm gonna choose pretty much everything I don't want, and then just hit delete and go up to here and hit delete. Just pretty much trying to get rid of all this space that you don't really want, as much as just get rid of as much as you can without affecting what you're actually trying to keep. So this is what I'm doing now, just selecting and deleting. Nothing too hard about that, right? This is the reason I do this. It just gives me like less to work with, and it just helps me concentrate better on what I actually need to get, and it doesn't confuse you by having too much on the screen. And this is just how it works for me. And I do this every time, whether it be a character or a gun or just something completely random for one of my thumbnails. So I think that looks okay. You don't want to have it be too crazy. And some people, may use this tool, the magic wand, and it just pretty much selects like certain aspects of it. And it just sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. Sometimes it, like it's doing now, it'll select parts of the gun that kind of just match the colors in the backgrounds, which is why I don't use that tool. And you can choose to make it weaker here in the tolerance, but I don't think it'll work in this case. Yeah, see, so it takes too much messing around with it, and you can be here all day. Sometimes it doesn't select what you want it to select. But anyway, back to Sinestro's way of doing this. I usually zoom up like this in order to be able to see the whole thing. And I go here. There's this polygonal lasso tool, and I pick a spar to start. And this is what I do. I pretty much trace over the edges of the gun, as so. And I gotta stress, guys, it doesn't have to be, perfect. The thumbnails for your YouTube are fairly small, and you do not need to just get into details all zoomed in. You just want it to be good enough for your thumbnails, and just have them look good. And you don't want to have too many sharp corners either. So I mean, you want to put some detail into it, but you don't want to go like break your head and have it be something just completely crazy. So I'm just gonna trace in here. I have area in here that I'll get to later. It's just easier right now to just go. I'm just trying to go around just the gun and just get the outside of it. I'll worry about all the little minor details later on. Just go like this, like that. I mean, See, like there's some details here. You just it's not very crucial. If I mean if it's bothering your OCD or whatever, then you can go in there, zoom in, and make it perfect. I don't do it perfect because once you have it up on your YouTube, you really, people can't zoom into it and like see, oh, Sinestro's lazy. He didn't like get this perfect. If you guys are doing that and I've been caught, I'm sorry. I apologize. But here we go. As you can see, this is a little bit of time consuming, but the end product is so worth it. Like, especially if you want your thumbnails to look badass. So here we're almost done. And the reason I'm not speeding through any of this is because I want you to see how much time I spend on this, It's quite a bit of work here. And I'm not, as you can see, I mean, I do this a lot. I also mess with Photoshop a lot for work, so I'm very, very familiar with the program, and I've been using it for a few years now. And so this comes like real easy. Before probably doing this would have taken me, an hour or two, and that's okay. It's just you need practice, give yourself a little bit of patience, and take your time, because if you take your time, it will look good. And also, if you guys have any questions or you want to see some, neat that I don't show you here, let me know. I do enjoy making these videos. I like being helpful and, helping you guys figure out stuff. There we go. That was kind of tricky. And I've done there's several guns that I've done already that I already have in my arsenal that I can go back to, and it's already done because I save them. I have I'm getting a pretty nice library going of stuff that I've already done that I can just come in later on and just drop it into a thumbnail that, it's just nice having that. Because you don't want to do this every time. You want to save it, and, if you play with the VMP a lot, and you're constantly making videos with the VMP and you always want to have it, then it's nice just to do it once, save it, and then you always have it. So there you go, guys. I got just the perimeter of it all selected. And now what I want to do is I'm going to go up here to select, and I'm going to find inverse, and this is going to flip what I've selected. So it's going to pick the opposite, the outside. What I mean is this whole background is now selected. You see the edges of the canvas here is selected. So now I'm just going to hit delete on my keyboard, and it's going to get rid of all that other stuff, right? And then I'm going to go back up to select, and I'm going to hit inverse again so that once again the inside is selected. And then this is something I like to do every time I do this. I go to select, modify, and I feather it just 1 or 2 pixels, and this just makes the edges kind of like fade into it, so you don't, like, if you miss a spot where you have hard corners, they won't be as noticeable. So now that that's done, I can deselect that, and I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty clean from far away. I mean, it looks like the gun and what you're trying to get out here. So we left some spots here that I'll zoom into that, they're gonna be kind of tricky, which is why I skipped them. So just same thing, just kind of trace wherever you think the edges of whatever you're trying to get rid of are. And this might take 1 or 2 tries, and you don't have to inverse or do anything like that on this. You can just delete it. It's so small that no one's gonna be able to notice. And so this one, see, it's like closed up, so we want to just get rid of the middle. They make a good thing about 3D is that everything's pretty symmetrical. And so I can deselect that with Control D. And also, if you want to fine tune it, you can always go to your eraser tool here, and make sure you put one of these feather ones on. Make it real tiny and just kind of get the edges. I'm not doing it for this one for the purpose of the tutorial or the how-to, whatever you want to call this. So back to the Polygonio, and I'm gonna get rid of this inside here. Go like this, like that, like this. See these curvy ones, you don't want to just make a straight line. You want to kind of follow somewhat of the arch there, just to kind of simulate, that it's round. But see, it's not looking so bad. And let's get in here in the trigger. And this is pretty much what I do for every gun. I used to do it with the eraser, but it would take so much longer, and I just figured if I'm going to spend that much time doing the eraser, I can just trace it and be on my way. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to get rid of this here. I don't think so, so I'll just keep going. Next. Here, 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 here. Got a little of a curve here. And then, like, if you get too much inside, don't worry about it. Like, just delete it. Like, unless you're really just, like I said, detail. It all really matters on how much detail you want to put out. But just telling you from experience, it's not gonna matter. People are not going to be able to see it. I sound like a freaking recorder saying the same thing over and over again. But there you have it, guys. It's done. It's completely done. It's ready to save. You can also drag it out here, and if I wanted to put, let's say in here, you can just drag it and drop it, and as you can see, no background, everything is good. You can see through the holes that you've made, and that's how you do that. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. It helps you out, not just Grizzly, but some of you guys who aren't very familiar with the program. If you like the video, please hit thumbs up. I encourage you to hit the thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. And remember, 5 likes is the goal for every single one of my videos. So please help me out, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Sinestro, and we'll see if I get into the speed one for this one. I'm not sure. I'll see how I feel about it. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. There you have it. We went from this, not that. I don't know what. Oh, I just got rid of it. But we went from, I have to pull it up, from having a background to not having a background. So from this to this, and hopefully this helped you guys out. I'm Sinestro. I'm out of here, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.